What is Pog? Like Pogger's Pog or oh, you're excited. Well, thanks for coming over. Hi Twitch. I'm actually going to take a little bit to get started today. I'm going to ease into things because I know there are a few folks who are coming in soon. But I'm pretty pumped for today. Uh there's going to be I think there's going to be some interesting discussion around TypeScript because this issue, this go-to definition for TypeScript literal strings things has actually been bugging me a little bit for quite some time. I've wanted this, uh, so it's going to be great. But I guess I'll dive into this into some of the context for this before I go into the technical explanation because I know that's going to be pretty juicy for folks. Also, one of the people who has been looking into it is also DMing me a whole bunch of information on this side now that I'll post soon. But cool. So go to definition for TypeScript literal strings. In TypeScript, you can go to definition on things. So if I just slip open the TypeScript playground and look at, let's say, let foo equals, or let, I really don't like using foo, let my data equals value true. And then sometime later in code, I look at my data.value. How does TypeScript know when you like right click on this and go to definition to bring you to this thing? Well, thanks to the very excellent Andrew Branch, a member of the TypeScript team, we have this debugging the TypeScript code base article that I'm going to be using for reference. So I'm going to post both the blog and the GitHub link in the chat posted. So um, I have TypeScript, the repo open locally. Oh, I have some local changes. I just ran npmi. I'm going to actually run, I just got the latest changes. So npmi, and then I'm going to npm1 build. I'm doing good, honestly. I'm excited. How are you doing, Dax Sudo? How are you feeling today? So basically, by the way, while this is happening, I'm just finishing the steps mentioned in this blog post locally. So if you run TSC itself, the way you debug that is typically with node dash dash inspect break, where you run this TSC JS with the particular command line flag, and then you can pass whatever args you want. Totally behind on a project. Oh my god. I feel like story of my life right there. Good luck with that. I hope it's not too bad. Thanks for tuning in, even though you're working on other things. Um, However, I'm not directly just running TSC. I'm running the whole TypeScript server, which is this long running persistent program that runs TypeScript and gives you the option to say request the definition of something or execute some refactor. So you actually need two VS Code windows for it. One is the actual TypeScript window that lets you debug TypeScript. And then the other is your Scratch window where you have the TS server running. We're going to use the former VS Code window to debug the latter. So that means we're going to be using the TypeScript VS Code window to debug the TypeScript server running in the Scratch project. I call my Scratch project TS-temp. So you're going to need to actually run with this TSS debug environment variable that sets your port number to debug with. So in my TS-temp or my repos folder, I'm going to TSS debug equals 9559 code TS-temp. So now VS Code is open on my TS-temp directory with the right port. And also settings.json. If it opens anytime soon, here we go. You need to specify the path to your TypeScript SDK or TSDK, where the language server comes from. So that's for this, a sibling directory of my TypeScript directory. So / TypeScript / build / local. Cool. So back in TypeScript, open the command palette and select debug attached node process. So debug attached node process. And one of these fine fellows should have the port that I used, which is the same as the blog post, 9559. We can scroll down, or I think I should be able to search. Oh boy. Maybe I have to, it's not there. Maybe I have to restart TS. I don't have any files open, so I can't restart TS server. And let's see if that got us where we need to be. Attach to node process. 9559. No. I can maybe reload. I swear. I tried this last night, and I changed a bunch of things since then. Very upsetting. Let us. My cat's doing something weird. Yeah, whatever. Life is hard. Debug, attach node process. Swear to God. Let's try the VS Code extension. TS server debug adds a command to restart the TypeScript language server process with a debug port open. Very upsetting that the normal stuff that I've used before is not working. All right, server debug. TS server with debugging enabled. Listening on port 9559. Attached to node process. Come on. I feel like are these processes in alphabetical order or something? What is happening? Local? Wait. Is TypeScript loading IntelliSense status? So it's using the workspace version. I hate this. I've been here for 10 minutes and all I've managed to do is get mad at the TypeScript debugging server experience. This is typical. Let's look at the logs. TypeScript output from TypeScript. So it's using it, it's starting. Is it, if I go to definition, I look at it. Maybe I won't get much done today. Maybe everything is terrible. What I'm going to do is, here, things are built, but I'm going to go to npm run build again. So the way this normally gets built is there are a bunch of gulp tasks that use your file system to know whether things need to be rebuilt, but TS server is its own TS config. So if I copy relative path and run TSC on this TS server, let me just make sure my face is out of the way. Boop. There we go. On TSC -b -w. So I'm starting it in build mode and then compiling it in watch mode. Notice how this has a few files it builds and then a bunch of references to other projects. And the out file is built local tsserver.js. Hopefully this will keep my TypeScript server fresh and building. Starting compilation. Interesting that TypeScript hasn't said much since it started using the TS server. If I copy and paste that playground example here and save it, right click, go to definition, what if that TypeScript would say something? But you know what? Maybe not. Life is hard. So on the left we have TypeScript, and on the right we have TS-temp, my Scratch workspace. I'm gonna reload window on the right. I don't want to update. Thank you, VS Code. Move my face back over here. There we go. What's interesting is the server's working. Like if I go to definition and rename and other stuff, like TypeScript is working. Here, restart TS server with debugging enabled. So if I rename this, I pressed F2 on my keyboard. Yep, it's working. Dash node process. But it's not, god dang it. This is so frustrating. I hate this. I hate the world. If anyone in the chat knows what's going on, that would be great. Please help me. Hello, Bot Cloud Fox. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate your commiseration. All right. Do local TS server. Yeah, there's nothing. What the heck, man? TS config, TypeScript version. Wait, why does it say no TS config? There's a JS config now. There's a TS config in here. Vane. Well, I don't know that there's much I can do here, but I will at least try to go through source and I don't know, try to figure out how this all works. So go to definition. I just happen to remember is the name of the thing that we're running here. And the way that I know this is, I'm just gonna go through it YOLO. Is because I looked up go.star to.star definition, which is a regular expression search. So anything that says go to definition, and then I went to source services because that's where the TypeScript language server services are. And I found go to definition.ts. And actually, if you go to the services TS config, there's actually basically pretty much a file for each of the possible things you're able to do. Like all the code fixes have a file under here, like code fixes / add missing async or await or whatnot. So that's cool. And then go to definition is a pretty great file name. Oftentimes with TypeScript, the file name is something like compiler.ts, which is how many tens of thousands of lines? And I want to play over under on how many lines are in compiler.ts. Source compiler, I think is what it is. Oh yeah, it's split into things. So let's say the checker, I think is like 50,000, something like this. Oh yeah, 45,000. I was close. All right, so I'm gonna fold all so we can just start from the very top. It's all in this go to definition namespace. And there are a few different exported functions throughout this file. One of them is get definition at position. The other is get reference at position, get type definition, and so on. I'm just going to start from this one, get definition at position, and right click on it and find all references. There we go. Like who uses this? And interestingly, although it's exported, it's only actually used in the file from get definition and bound span. Okay. Now, if I do a find all init across all.ts files, and I make it a case-sensitive match whole word only thing. Oh, and I want to exclude DTS files because it's picking up some things. All right. I see it is, in fact, used in some places. It's referenced in some other files. Okay, here we go. I don't know why TypeScript didn't pick up that it's this is a reference to it, but go to definition dot get definition at position is something used. Okay. So I just did the quick cursory skimming of who uses this function, but we don't really need the results there. We just need to know, yes, this is the function that takes in a program, a source file, a position in that source file, and whether you should only search other files or stop at alias. I don't know what that is, but whatever. So this takes in a position for a file and searches. Whereas get reference also takes in a source file and position in TypeScript program, fancy APIs for type checking and such. Where's this one? Get definition and bound span calls it. Okay. So let's look at how get definition at position actually works. First thing we do is get reference at position. Okay. Where reference is, what is the type for it? A file reference, a file name, and so on. So it looks like get reference at position is the real meat of it. I really wish I could debug here, because at this point I would right click, find all references or something, and then put a breakpoint here. But it is not meant to be. So I'm actually a little stuck because the previously working breakpoint shenanigans just aren't. Let me gulp clean. That's probably a thing. And gulp build. Gulp dash dash tasks. How do I like rebuild? I want to see how I can rebuild everything. There's gulp ooh. Gulp watch. That's interesting. For what it's worth, debugging is normally actually pretty straightforward and reasonable with the TypeScript compiler. I don't know why it's being such a pain right now, but oh, interesting. They added or have. I never knew of these. They have specific watch and clean and build tasks for parts of TypeScript like TSC and services. So yeah, I'm gonna gulp clean services and gulp watch services. Or no, TS server is what I'm using. It uses the services. So gulp clean TS server, clear. Gulp clean TS server, and then gulp watch TS server. All right. So now if I restart TS server, I bet you, yeah, it's gonna break because the file, my face is in the way. Boop. It's now broken. I cleaned everything in TypeScript itself and then tried restarting the TS server that's pointing to the now cleaned files. So there's no valid TS server found. Awesome. So that's a good sign. That means I did correctly delete the thing, the TS server.js. Yay for me. Oh man. The worst part about working on TypeScript for me is just the long build times. Like, I really enjoy that there's so much cool stuff here that I don't understand. Because let's face it, it's a programming language. There's a lot going on. But it's cool and it's interesting. It's fun to learn, but when I don't get the debugging working, or when I need to build something, it just takes so gosh diddly darn long. Alright, hang on. Now it's saying it's using the TS server from here. So let me just reload window. make sure it's also curious if anyone in the chat has played with TypeScript before as a contributor. If you've done any fun things there, let me know. Love to hear your experiences. Let's look at the output from, there's not even any TypeScript output yet. There we go. Using TS Server from home, Josh repos TypeScript build local TS Server day. Yes, awesome. Right click, rename ASDF. The server is working. That's great. So if I restart TS Server with debugging enabled, what happens if I pause startup? Will that do anything? Built local. Wait a second. I'm just looking at the little hover tip. I don't know if you can see it clearly in the stream, but it is VS Code server, max old space out, blah, blah. Home Josh repos TypeScript build local TS server. It's not the right port, 5450, but it is running. So if I just put, was it just not using the port it said it was? Are you serious? Right click, go to, oh my God, it works. Oh, this stream will actually be useful today, as opposed to just be me complaining. 24 minutes in, 22, I guess, and it's actually working. Okay, great. So let's look at the call stack. Oh, thank God. This is going to be so much better for you and for me now. Will it be good for you? All right. Load all stack, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's all of them. So the node server got a message, and the message was, let's look at, do I have locals? There we go. E. E is type request. Oh, man, this is great. We can actually look at things. We have a request, which has the commands definition and bound span, which means VS Code has told the TypeScript server, someone has asked me for the definition and bound span. Definition, I know to be go to definition, like where is the thing that you're looking at declared, its value or type. Bound span, I'm guessing that means like what is the span of text, the like start and end number range of where that's in the file. I don't know for sure, I'm just guessing. That seems reasonable. And the argument is, I'm looking at this file, tstemp/index.ts, line 7, offset 10. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, what a relief. Cool. And now if we go to, let's see, let's look at the call stack. So this is the root of it. Process, or what is process? Some node process or something. Let's go to definition on that. Okay, yeah, it's the node process. It got a message. There's some wrapping code of like session.onMessage in TypeScript source server session TS, where we execute command given the request, which executes with request ID, which is some, I don't know, handler thing. None of this really matters, this code. Just the thing I care about is, here we go. Somehow we have found out that we are going to the command names.definition and bound span request with, all right, so this.handlers.get request.command. Request.command again is definition of bound span, and this.handlers is this new map. Okay, great. So we have this huge map in session TS where we map from the command names to some method, function, whatever, some function that handles it. So this.definition bound span, which does some magic to get the language services. All right, so cool. All that is to say, we now understand that we are in the right place. We sent a request for get definition and bound span, and now we are going to the actual code that does that. So let me know, by the way, if none of that makes sense or if you have any questions. Always happy to chat. Yeah. All right, let's dig in. So we're in get reference at position, where reference path is find reference in position. By the way, for those watching, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I have not been in this code before. So it might be confusing to see me just skip over things or dive into something willy-nilly as if I have confidence. And no, I'm just taking guesses here. For example, right now I'm going to guess that it would be useful for me to go into here because I don't know. Well, I don't know what type all this stuff is supposed to be. I don't know what's happening, but reference path seems to be the path to the reference. So I'm going to assume that if you're getting the reference path, you already know what that reference is. But I want to figure out, how does this stuff know, like what the reference is? Like how does it get the definition? And immediately I see that there is no refs array. So yeah, I'm confused. I'm just gonna disconnect right now and go back to the beginning of the code. So resolved ref is the thing, the type of it that has the reference, which is get reference at position, which is find reference in position, which takes in an array of refs, which is read only, and then does some text range shenanigan. The question though is source file dot, oh, it's the source file referenced files. Okay. So the source file has a list of files that it references. Interesting. Let me so it's 5450. I guess I didn't need to disconnect. I could have just pressed play and allowed it to go again. If I go to definition, here we go. Source file to referenced files is an array of 0. Okay, cool, because it's just my sample code that doesn't have any source file references. Let me, gosh darn it, trying to resize my window. There we go. All right. Reference path equals undefined. All right, so I don't know what reference path is. What is type reference directive? Also undefined. Lib reference directive. Undefined. Okay, so this get reference at position is giving us nothing. So that's cool. So I guess this wasn't actually the function that's going to go to definition on an object. Okay. So where do we actually... I'm just going through the code. So we get the type checker. We didn't run any of these if statements. So we ran get symbol, this function, and we got a symbol which has a list of declarations, an array. So this get symbol, I think, is the important thing. So I'm gonna press play, then I'm gonna remove my breakpoints. Just gonna remove all of them and then put just one here. Cool. All right, and if I go to def again, we can hop into get symbol, which is checker.getSymbol at location. Oh, I actually have seen this before in past TypeScript stuff. This is like the core API. I've seen it, but I've never actually dug into it. So the checker is the type checker. It's the thing that provides many of the core APIs we associate with TypeScript, like is something assignable to another thing, or in this case, get me the symbol. The symbol is a representation of how something looks in the type system at a location. And that node in location is, what is this? Come on. Come on, hover tool. Well, if we look at it in here, we see it's a node that has the escape text ASDF and its kind is 79. Fun fact actually about TypeScript nodes, that's the object. If you run node in, let's see, node dot, I'm just going to debug get text, I think it is. Nope. Aw, man. I swear there was an underscore, what is it? Debug text, debug kind. What is this? Oh well. Well, there is some. I thought there was some method for getting the text to the node. Whatever, that's fine. Oh my god, is it just get text? No, it's not. Oh, it is. There we go. Cool. Dot get text. All right. I don't know what is parse tree node. I guess I'll just step in to see what it is. It's the original parse tree node for a node. Node is the original node. The callback is used to ensure the correct type of parse. What is a parse tree? What is? Well, whatever. We're still returning the same node, so that was a useless piece of function for us. All right. So there is a node. We ignore errors true. That's reasonable. The API shouldn't cause any new errors. Sure, whatever. Don't care. Get symbol at location. That's the real shindig. By the way, I normally take notes on this side. So I'm just gonna note in my own notes, get symbol at location. And cool. So the node is not a source file. We get the parent of the node and the grandparents. This code could be reordered because we return undefined in this if statement. These variables could be made after, whatever. If node.flags and node.flags.in with statements. Yeah, if you don't know what a with statement is, don't worry. No one does, because that is an old JavaScript feature that you should never use. All right. We are not a declaration name or import property name. We are not a literal computed property declaration name. We are an identifier. Is in right. Oh, by the way, an identifier is a name, like ASDF of the object. Like this is an identifier. Are we this thing? No, we're not. Whatever this. In right side of import or export assignment, we're not that. We are not a binding element, which is binding is like const prop equals some object. Like that's this thing is called a binding, I guess. Actually, I thought this is a destructuring. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but whatever. Meta property. I don't even want to know. Okay. Is in the type query. We are not in a type query. I don't remember what a type query is, but okay. Get symbol of name or property access expression. For anyone who's lost right now, I'm just going through the logic to see how does TypeScript get the definition of a node. Like, given a node, where is it defined? So all this stuff I don't really need to understand yet, and how any of this stuff means I might not ever, but I'm just kind of going through the process of it. We're not in a declaration, we're not in a JS file, we are not an export assignment. We are an entity name. Is it an import type qualifier part? We're not something to do with imports, so yeah, this is undefined. While is right side of qualified name or property access or JS member name. So while we are inside some kind of we're not any of those things. Or we are. So we keep going to the parent a couple times. Now we're looking at the node. We're into the name object. What is it? Name.getText. So now the name is mydata.asdf. Okay. Heritage clause, that's like a class extends thing, I think. That's not us. We're not a... Oh my god, there's so much freaking... Are you this? Like that? Okay, so we are an expression. The expression, I guess, includes like a member access expression. Mydata.asdf. Are we JSDoc? I don't think so. Is JSDoc? No, undefined. Are we any of these? Okay, so we are a property access expression. That's what it's called, a property access expression. So links.resolve symbol. So get node links was what I should have debug into. Links.resolved symbol is, all right, cool. So get node links is what actually gets the node links. Let's go back through again. Oops. We are paused here. I guess this happens a bunch in the background, so I'm just gonna go to definition and then try to find where I was. Here we go. Play back to get node links. All right. Just making sure we're on the same name with name.getText. It's the same. Yep. Okay. Oh boy. So we have a node ID, which is, I guess, unique per node. This is node 4076. Fun fact. All right. And then we have this node links object, which is this, oh my God, huge. Oh boy. So TypeScript stores a whole bunch of stuff in this node links object. I'm not even going to bother trying to find out the closure. Oops, what did I scroll? There we go. Alt left on the keyboard, folks, gets you back to where you were. Node links, node ID is an object that has a resolved symbol. Node links itself is an array of size 4078. Oh boy. Node links dot length is indeed 4078, and this is node 4076, right? Yeah, node ID 4076. So we've got a lot of stuff. Okay. So I guess TypeScript stores some previously determined symbol, the information for the node in this node links array. All right. So now I don't really understand yet where the type information, the symbol comes from, is generated, but I like kind of I've seen the path that the code normally takes to get the definition of something. So this is good. I'm happy here. Let me just make sure my breakpoint won't randomly trigger. Cool. So this is a good switch point from kind of vague explorations of the normal flow, see how this is kind of structured together. And I'm going to switch over to the issue. And by the way, I'm going to, again, post the same things I posted before just to refresh them in the chat. Oh yeah, you know what? I forgot. Show my chat. I recently was introduced to this by Ben Myers, the creator. So let me see if I can. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Post that in my OBS stream at some point. Yeah, if people start chatting, I'll throw that up there. All right, so here's the actual TypeScript issue that I promised I'd get into. It's posted by Alex Cat from TRPC with a $500 bounty. Fun fact. So if I don't get it, all you. When we have this object, this is just a bunch of examples or a small set of example code. That link is blank. Hi, Steve. Nice to see you again. It is blank, but if you scroll down, you should see that there. In fact, let me add a browser source to it. There we go. Whoop. Cool. Now it's on the stream. Let me up the width a little bit. Width 250, height 550. Boop. Oh man. Now you're gonna see me mess around with the chat because I have no self-control and I just really enjoy a perfectly framed. There it is. Cool, yeah. All right. So, yay. We have this const obj, and I'm actually gonna plop this into the playground. When we do a get, and this is actually a fairly common pattern, a get that takes in k extends key of some object and returns object of that path. If we try to go to definition on foo, oop, I just opened the console. That's not quite what I wanted to do. Let me hide all this junk. All right. So if we right click, go to definition on foo, we get no definition found. Now, um, in theory, that makes sense because this is a string literal to foo. There's no real definition of it. But in practice, when you know that it's working in a generic or in general something that's a key of, I'm gonna simplify this a bit. With I'm just gonna take the path of obj. This is not just. Why is this complaining? Oh, right. Expected one argument, got two. This is not just any old string literal. It's used in a place that is a key of type of. It's used as the key, the type. So if I were to plop this into my TS temp, and yeah, I don't know how the history gets managed for Show My Chat, because when I open it in OBS as a browser source, the way you're seeing now, it works with the history, but when I open a new window, it doesn't. I don't know what's going on. I'd be interested to know. Oops, one of my breakpoints hit. All right, so now when I right click, go to definition, oh, and we see no definition found. Let me put my breakpoint back in, right click, go to def. All right, still no resolved ref, still no touching property name. Going through the same code path that we were before. I'm not going to go inside things. The symbol we get is undefined. So that's the key difference here, that when we get symbol on the node, which is text foo, we get undefined. All right, it's been about 35 minutes or 40 minutes or so, and we are finally starting the debugging. Yay, we're doing the thing that I said we would be doing. So my goal here is to figure out how we can augment, modify, whatever, this get symbol stuff so that we can in fact get the definition of the strings, or if it's a string literal being provided to a place that is a key of. Let me write these down. If it's a string literal provided to a key of type location, then get the definition of, or get the type that is that string literal. I'm not actually sure how. Here, oops, I was typing that out over there. I'm actually not super sure how this is gonna work. Like the nomenclature, the terminology is a little confusing to me, but that's okay. We'll figure it out as we go along. So right click, go to definition. There we go. I've gotten symbol. Let's resize my windows. All right. So let's dive into get symbol, which dives into checker.getSymbol at location, which gets the parse tree node, blah, blah, blah. We've seen all this stuff. All right. So now we're going through the same stuff that we were going through before. If it's a property, if it's an in, it's a this, it's a that, it's a whatever. And this is the switch statement we saw previously. We're switching on the node.kind, which is come on, TypeScript 10. Let's go to definition there. A node kind 10 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we go, string literal. So we're looking for what we do if it's a string literal, which is, here we go. All right, if we are, oh, this is actually a good set of comments. I'm going to expand the code so we can see it. By the way, let me know if this code needs to be zoomed out a bit. I'm actually going to right click, copy as GitHub permalink and put that in the chat, just to do that every so often so we're all able to look at the same place. So we are not an import something definition, whatever this is. It's not a inside of a, is bindable object of defined property call. Is call expression parents. Parent dot kind is 208, and call expression is 208. Oh, so it is a call expression. Is bindable object defined property call? This is not an object.define property, so I'm gonna guess that this is gonna return false, but just to be sure, before I decide whether to debug into this, ts dot is something or other call parent. Yeah, okay. So that's gonna fall through. I'm actually gonna put a little breakpoint there because I feel like this might be the place we need to modify later, the specific handling for a string literal, because it's the key, but maybe the fall through to numeric literals is reasonable. All right. Can numeric literals be keys? Actually, let me look at this in the playground. One through. Oh, by the way, we can get rid of these as constant, just have one big one here. Can we get one? Yeah. So actually, we do need to be able to work with both string literals and with number literals. Okay. Good to know. We are not an index access. So object type is undefined. Okay, so this is the place that we are stuck on. This is where we're going to have to change something. Because it's a string literal or numeric literal, either of them, and it's not an index access, and that's it. There's no more TypeScript handling here. Okay. How do I want to handle this? So I guess what we care about right now is the location that the node is being used in. That's it's being provided to a call expression that takes in a key of type. But it's actually not that it's not important that it's a call expression, because we might use this in something that's not a call expression. Like we might say, let my value key of type of obj equals foo, let's say. And if we were to right click, go to definition on this foo, we would want to still get to the object. So the fact that it's a call expression is a red herring. It's not actually what is important here. So I didn't need to focus so much on this statement, this if statement, that's not relevant. But what I do need to care about in here is which adding a new piece of logic. If object type, return get property of type, and here if parents or if provided to location that is a key of type, then we need to return results of, or return whatever key of type definition for type. Whatever. I don't know how quite to phrase that, but yeah. Cool. What is this complaining about? What? My ESLint is running quite slow. So also I'm just gonna, okay, there we go. Turn fine. I'm gonna make sure that my debugging update whatever is working, so that if I save without formatting this file, that the gulp command I ran, gulp whatever, watch server or watch TS server or something like that, this will create an updated server, and then if I restart TS server with debugging enabled on this friend here, I don't need to pause, but I do need to restart with my debugging enabled. After this very slow incremental compile runs, Well, while that's happening, I wonder if I hover over this, go to definition, nothing happens. Go to references. Huh. References of foo. Is it just a coincidence? What if I do hello here? Go to references, nothing. Okay. That was an interesting little bug. That go to references just looked at all the same string literals. Okay, cool. Um, what's interesting though is TypeScript knows what it's allowed to be. If I do H, it can autocomplete to just hello. So TypeScript has the ability to know what type this thing is, that it's one of these specific keys. Can I do 2? Sorry, can I do 1? Yeah, 1 even works. Interestingly. Oh, wait, no, here we go. 1 or foo or hello. So somehow TypeScript knows that when you start typing this out, it is already that type and knows what the type is supposed to be. So I'm hoping there's some API I can use to get the type that a location is in. I don't know the terminology for this. But anyway, my file finished. So if I'm actually going to copy and paste this friend in here, call it hello, save, just for fun. Restart TS server with debugging enabled. Port 9559, my butt. All right. And debug or patch node process. What was the server name again? It was something similarly silly, like, is it local TS server? Oh, 6415 now. Is that it? Is that what we're talking about? Make sure I have my breakpoints set up. All right. The red filled in circle means it seems to be working. Up. I didn't try to go to definition. Stop that. Right click, go to definition. Yep. Okay. So now the breakpoints are working. If I go back here, put one on the return undefined and play. And play. Oh my God. Takes a little while. Doo-doo-doo. All right, here we go. Great. We have hit the space and we know that our updates to code locally work. I swear, what? Does anyone remember how to get the like debug text of a node? Was it in the get text? Aha, every node has a debug kind property since kind is just a number. So I would think if we get the, what was the node we're looking at? Node.debug kinds. What? Did they change this? Did TypeScript change the debug properties? I swear to God. Debug kind still a thing? Debug.ts. Huh. Underscore ts debugger display. Wow. Well, never mind that then. Anyway, so yeah, so the node is, where am I? The node is inside a parent. That's a particular type. All right, so there are a couple of avenues we can look into. I can try to get the type definition of the parent. Like I say, okay, if it's in a variable assignment, then we look at the type of the variable. If it's in a call expression, we look at the type of the parameter, blah, 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 blah. But that would be a lot of logic. I would have to handle every single possible type. What if it's an array lookup, blah, blah, blah. So what I want is like a TypeScript API, like, I don't know. Is program available to me? Do I have a variable program? Like something in the type checker. Do I even have a type checker available? Where? So I'm in the type checker, so I can call things like get property of type. That's a function available to me. And I guess what I could do is try to figure out like what is the message when I start auto. Actually, yeah. Actually, I really like this. What is the message when I start typing out hello? Like if I just disable all my breakpoints. Like, because it's giving me the autocomplete here, I want to know, how does it know this thing? Because then I can use whatever APIs that autocomplete gives to get the same information in my go-to-definition thing. So now what I need is I basically need like a list of all the messages that get sent. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add back the breakpoint here, and I'm going to go back all the way up on the call stack to here, and I'm gonna add a log point that logs e.command. Cool. Make sure it's enabled. And so if I'm gonna open them side by side ish. If I go to definition, where does the debug? Oh, debug. What just got? Did someone just get logged? Go to definition. I'm pressing it and nothing is happening. So where's that output? Is there an output for this? What I can do actually is console.log hello e.command and just make this an expression. Oh, wait, oh. Yeah, I'll just do this. Hello e.command. See where I would think that logs to the debug console, but right click, go to def. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't know why my log points aren't hitting. You know what? Let me just I'm gonna attach the node process again, and I'm just gonna remove it, this log point, and just put one here. So, all right, it keeps hitting, but that's okay. I'm just gonna ignore these. Ignored, deletes, ignore. Oh my God. Shush. All right, here we go. Command update open. Is this, I don't know what update open is. I'm gonna ignore it. Command get applicable refactors. Get error. Encoded semantic classifications. Get applicable refactors. And if I type H, we get update open again. What is update open? I want to know. Update open, get applicable refactors, get error. Encoded semantic classifications full. What is encoded semantic? Okay, so let me just actually jot down some notes. It's update open, get applicable refactors, encoded semantic classifications dash full, and I think those are the three main ones that aren't just get error. Oh, and get, yeah, okay, same. What else I want to know is, okay, how does it respond? Can I look at all the responses? Update open, get applicable refactors, get error. I just a hunch tells me I don't need to look at get error. Encoded semantic classifications. So like if we look at on message, start going through, there's a bunch of logging stuff, request stuff. We parse the message to be the request, which is a protocol request. Care about the relevant file, blah, blah, blah. And here we go, we get the response. So for the command encoded semantic classification is full, the response has an array of spans. 6, 3, what is this? Is this what? This is like the positions in the code, so like 0, 6, character 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So obj for length 3. What is 2057? There are 353 characters in the file, so I don't know what that is. But if we go to, if we select 27 characters, we get foo. I don't, so I, 2057 might be like a code or something. We get character 27 for 3, and then character 41 for 5, which is also 2561. So that's cool. His encoded semantic classifications. What even is this? Is there a file? Nope. Semantic classifications. What is this? Doo. Oh, that was my own note. Why is this? There I go. Get encoded semantic classifications. Get encoded semantic classification. Okay. So that's one of them. Man, I was really hoping it would be more obvious what all this stuff does. I'm actually going to move this comment later because it's messing with my call stack lines. Oh boy. There we go. All right. Get error. Get applicable refactors. Get error. All right. Highlight, blah, 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 blah. L. So now we have the request update open, and if we go into on message and look at the response, here we go. The response, oops, that's request. Response is true. So it's not update open. That just responds with true. Get applicable refactors. I don't think that's it, honestly. Like we're not getting refactors. That's not it. All right, so let's look at encoded semantic classifications, whatever that is. So if I put a breakpoint here, this should hit in the private method. Project.get encoded classifications in the language service. We're getting real deep here. TS, I synchronize host data. I don't know what that is. I don't care. My gut is that it's something with making sure files are up to date in memory. I don't know. All right. Response format is not the original. It is 2020. So there are different formats that VS Code uses. That's cool. All right. There's this get valid source file call that I don't really care about. What I care is this get encoded semantic classifications function, which calls what, get semantic tokens. All right, so I'm gonna do a small pause recap here because I'm starting to get dizzy. I'm not used to streaming, and this is very new stuff to me. Let me know if you know these things. By the way, Orto, 15 minutes ago, a former TypeScript team member, someone who's done a lot of work with TypeScript in the community and making the website, says, looking good with the debugging so far. Thank you, Orta. I guess I'm on the right path. All right. So what I'm trying to do is, given a span, which is start 0, length 357. What? Okay, sure. I'm trying to get all the semantic tokens, which I suspect will help me get that list of like tokens I'm allowed to look for in the file. I actually don't quite know. So this collector, you know what? I don't think this is actually what I'm looking for. Please tell me if you think I'm wrong in the chat, because I would love help. I truly have not that much of an idea of what I'm doing. But this is just getting all the tokens in the file. The span is length 357, start 0. How many characters in the file? There are 354 characters in the file. I guess something with a new line or whatever is different, whatever. So this isn't specific to what I'm looking for. So I think I'm going down the wrong path. That span is really what clued it to me. What I think I want instead is get type at location. And I'll explain why. I'm just going to play here. I have previously in the past used the TypeScript APIs to figure out what type something is supposed to be. So if I get type at location in the go to definition thing, I'm just gonna, where was the place we were looking? Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna delete all the other breakpoint. Oh no, I needed this breakpoint. Cool. So I'm gonna re-enable the breakpoint, and so now, right now, oops, note that the file is wrong. It's just hell, which is really funny to me, because that's where I am now. So if I get back to this place, come on. Ugh. Why is it frozen? Play. Go on. Be free. Whatever. Disconnect. Come on. Ah. Well, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get back to this breakpoint here and try to get the type at the location of the node to see what that, if TypeScript knows what the type is supposed to be. And if TypeScript knows that the type here is supposed to be key of type of object, then great. I can do fancy things knowing that it's a string literal, and I can check if it's like a unit type of literals and stuff like that. Okay. I see that the debugger disconnected after some time, so that's nice. Build local. Here we go. So all I'm trying to do now is get back to where I was so I can start calling random TypeScript type checking APIs. All right, and right click, go to definition. We're there. Boop. Great. Put a breakpoint here. And go. All right. We're back in action, baby. I'm gonna see if I can I collapse this? No? Okay. So get type at location, or get type, here we go. Get type at position, here we go. Node. What is the complaint? Cannot read properties undefined reading length. Oh boy. Can I get type at position parent? No. Let's look at the other APIs available. Get type. Wow, a lot of get type APIs. All right. Ooh, get type with facts. What is that? Can I call it? Oh my god. Look at it returned. Amazing. And it returned intrinsic name never. Oh wait, that was the parent. What if I run it on node? Still never. Well, that's not what I'm looking for. But it's start. It means that oh wait, is it not the node itself, but node.pos? Oh my god. Clear console on this thing. Getting all flustered. Okay. Get type at position node.pos. Nope. Pot 0. Nope. Let me open this. What is this complaining about? Signature dot parameters. Why is it signature? What? Okay, you know what? That's that's a whole thing. All right. Parents.pos? Nope. Well, that's not working. Get symbol at location. Is get symbol at location? Oh, that's That's the API I'm in. Okay. So there's no symbol, but we know the type is supposed to be a thing. But the knowing that the type was supposed to be hello or foo or one was just powered by the symbol, the tokens in the file. It wasn't actually type system informed. Hmm. Yeah, I'm confused. I'm gonna have to regroup a little bit because I'm not sure where I should be going after this. Let's look at the node's parent. So the node parent should be a variable declaration of some sort. Parent kind is 254, and where is it? Types TS. I'm just gonna binary search these to 200, 215. It's found it. Variable declaration. All right. Get type. I'm gonna go to the bottom of this list. Go up to where it actually starts calling them get type again. Ooh, get inferred type? What does that take? Ooh. Inferred type, which takes in context index. I don't know what context is. Get type at position. What is this actually? What are the arguments here? Where is it? Signature. Oh my god, that's why I was complaining. I was passing in. All right, let's look at the functions. Oh yeah, a hint. You're passing in the wrong things. I get type at position. Oh, it was right in front of me the whole time, and none of you helped me. That's okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open a different repo and look at how we do this in TypeScript ESLint. So in TypeScript ESLint, we are one of many consumers in the world that takes in the TypeScript type checker and calls APIs to say get the type at a location. So no foreign. Actually, this is a great time for me to plug something that just got posted on Twitter. Sourcegraph and I collaborated on a thing, the first article in a series called Tour de Source. Oh, and the Twitter notification links aren't working. Tour de Source. Twitter, Sourcegraph. Here we go. A new series where we ask OSS maintainers, and I bring this up because the article that is posted is about how TypeScript ESLint uses the TypeScript APIs. So, little plug here. To go read this article if you're interested in TypeScript ESLint. So this goes over how ESLint rules are declared, not useful for this stream, so we're going to ignore that stuff. Type checking. So rules take in a type checker, and then we call an API of ours to tilde get constrained type at location. Get type at location. That's, wait a second. Given a TypeScript node, it's TypeScript type. Isn't that what we were looking at? Or were we looking at get type at position? We were getting type at position. Oh, position must refer. So a signature is like a function signature. It's the list of parameters and then the resultant return type for a function. That's why. But if I call get type at location, that's what takes in a node. Oh my god. If I get type at location is not defined. What? Checker? Do I have a checker? Checker.get type at location node. Oh my heavens. Oh. Now we're in business here. Cool. So yeah, thank you, Sourcegraph work toward a source article. Also, my nose is itchy because there's dust and cat hair all over my apartment. Pardon me for grossly massaging my face on stream. Okay, given a TypeScript node, it's TypeScript type. So, thank you. I want to see, is this useful? looks like the type is value hell, uh, and I don't know what a regular type and fresh type are. Um, these these just keep saying hell. I think they refer. I think they point at each other because I'm just going down recursively. Okay, so get type by location is not getting me what I need. But what else is on the checker? Get type. Get type of symbol at location. I really wish there were like more consistently good, useful docs for TypeScript APIs. Get type. Get type at position. Get type from flow type. What is get flow type? Is that get flow type of something? What is of reference taken? Get flow type of reference. What? Why is it? Okay, I guess it's a property that's undefined. Is it in the checker? Oh. Whatever. Anyway, checker, get type. What is a parent? I think I've seen this before. Get a parent type? Oh boy. That takes some types to get. Checker.get type at position node. Oop. Oh my god. What is it? Get type at location. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Interesting. ID 69. Nice. Okay. It's just string. Symbol, escape name, string. Well, that's not as useful. But this is interesting. I think I'm making progress. A parent type seems to be getting what the actual type is. And in this case, because it's a type error, I suppose it's reasonable that it just thinks that this is string. So what happens if I call these same APIs on the parent of the node? What happens if I do? I'm just gonna clearing. I'm just gonna reset the console to just show these things. And now what if I do checker.get type at location node.parent? That gets types 3. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it clearly on the stream, but it's an array of 3 types, 1, foo, and hello. Oops. And that's because the parent is a variable declaration. So now we're kind of going down the path I didn't really want to do, where if we know this is in, let's say, a variable declaration, then if we get the type of the variable declaration, we get the correct list of types. And I don't want to, it would not be feasible. TypeScript would not accept a pull request that adds a giant switch statement on, well, what's the parent's type? And then calls some logic at each thing. So there's got to be an API that says, like, get me the type that this is supposed to be. But until I have that, I'm just going to get this to work for the, the variable situation. Where am I? So const intended type equals get intended type of node and parent. If intended, I guess I can just do like return. If intended type and get location from intended type node intended type. I don't quite know how these functions are going to look. So I'm just going to put a to do, and then function get intended type node parent to do move somewhere more reasonable. To do, is there a checker API for this? And then we also, once we get that intended type, which this is case syntax kind declaration. I return checker dot get what did I say? Get type at location parent, and then if it's a the parent's a call expression, I think it'd be get checker get type at position, which is what parent, and then parents dot arguments dot index of node, something like that. Yeah. To do, there's got to be a checker API for this. Yeah. So that's where I am. And then once we have that intended type, once we get this thing with the types array, then we have get location from intended type. Intended type, where if the node is, if the intended type is a union of types, find the node's type within the union. If it's good, return its declaration thing. Like if the node is type hello, find where that node, the hello type comes from. Like if the node is hello here, then we go there. Yeah. To do also handle non-union type. Like what if it's just, what if the object only had hello in it? We'd still want to go to definition. Cool. By the way, I feel myself starting to speed up because I actually feel a little excited about this. I think I'm making progress. I don't have quite the TypeScript type checker API that I want and need, but it's happening. Unfortunately, I'm also running somewhat out of time. I wanted to end in like 5 minutes because I got a bunch of other crap to do, but I'll go over today if I'm still making progress, and I'll post in the chat and on Twitter if I have a draft PR or something that comes out of it. All right. So cool. I can keep debugging because, well, I have things that I'm working with. Intended type is checker.get type location, node.parent, because we're working with the variable declaration form of this. So the actual type we care about is, because intended type is a union type. What? Oh, plural or singular. Here we go. Is this third one. So hello type equals intended type dot types 2. All right. And that's just the value hello. So, oh boy. So this is really, this is really interesting. The type of key of type of obj is just a union of true bar world. It doesn't actually know. Oh God, it doesn't know that it's a key of type of thing. It doesn't know that these come from a particular place. So that's an extra complication here. So if I look at, let me reset everything. Intended type again. Where does it come from? Checker dot get symbol type. Get symbol of. Do I have a get symbol method? There we go. Get symbol is undefined. That's not a good sign. Checker dot get symbol at location. No dot parents. Really? Really? Nothing? No dot parent doesn't have a symbol? Checker dot get symbol of type. Get type symbol. Surely there's something. I swear, I thought there was like a get symbol of. Oh, get symbol of node, maybe? Node node.parent. Declared name, my value. Okay. So I guess we're using that API. My value is key of type of obj. So it says the escape name is my value. All right, so parent symbol equals that thing, and then get type of symbol, parent symbol. I check where I get type of symbol? Type of, oh, I lowercased the O. Here we go. Oh boy. So I'm gonna take some notes. This is getting confusing. So I did, here, let me put this terminal in mini mode. I did get type of symbol, parent symbol, where parent symbol is get symbol of node, node.parent. Ooh, cool. Ooh, I'm starting to give myself shoulder cramps from leaning too much. All right. And let me clear this again. The type of the parent symbol is this union type. All right. That has the 3 types for just the literals. 1, foo, and hello. Oh man, this is actually a pretty tricky issue. Like this is so difficult. All right. So here the fresh type has the same flags and ID as the type itself. Sorry, the regular type. So, I guess what we have to do, sorry if you can hear cars speeding outside. I'm in Brooklyn and everyone here needs to show off their genitalia sizes, is we would need to look at the symbol and see where it's declared. Symbol.value declaration is position 73. I'm guessing that's right here. 83 selected. 74. Okay. Wait. Position 73. We need to in some way determine that the type is sourced from this thing. Key of type of, so like how do we know that the variable is this type? This key of type of object is what I'm asking myself now. So I did parent equals get symbol of node. What if I do, oh wait, I'm in get symbol at location, so get symbol of node won't help me. I guess node.parents, oops, node.parent has an initializer and a type member, but that type member is in the AST, the part of the node that says what the type is. And I really, okay, just to play around, I'm gonna get symbol node node.parent.type. Get its symbol. Nope. Node.parent.type. There's no debug get text still, which is really frustrating. So the type that I was looking at is here. And actually, if we go into TypeScript, ESLint.io/play, and copy and paste this lovely code in here, enable the TypeScript AST viewer. Come on. There we go. Variable declarator with an ID and a init. Oh, it's ID.type annotation. Oh, no, that's TypeScript, not AST. Okay. Variable declaration, which has a name, an initializer, and a type, which is here a type operator, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, hey, Semantics. I gotta warn you, I might be heading out soon, but I'll also raid at the end of this. Hello, y'all have come in at a particularly juicy time, I'd say medium levels of juice. I'm how do I even explain what is happening? I am attempting to resolve this TypeScript issue, which I'll post in the chat, where if you go to definition on this foo here, it should bring you to the foo there, obj.foo, because foo is some extends key of type. It's the type of object. I'm working in the TypeScript compiler, and honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. This is one of the more difficult issues I have found with TypeScript. So, yeah, what I have now is I have the node and its parent, meaning in the AST, I have, where's my AST window? I have this node here, which is the variable declaration, and I'm trying to figure out like how do I get TypeScript to understand that this key of type of obj thing is actually related to these characters? Or like how does TypeScript know that the type we're working with, the type of what this variable is supposed to be, is in fact a key of type? So yeah, that's why I'm stuck, because I don't know this, and no one in the chat seems to know it. None of us know anything. So we're just kind of here getting confused. So just to recap what I have node and parent. And if I do get or checker, the type got get type at location node.parent, I get this type object which has 3 child types. It's a union, and those child types are the literal types like one and foo and hello, but they're not actually linked to the type of like objects, like a key of type. So I'm kind of stuck. So yeah, at this point, I think I'm just gonna sleep on it. I don't have the answer today. I have a bunch of notes that have been sent me in DM by other people who've looked. So I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to find someone else to raid. At this point, I'm gonna say if you have any questions or comments for me in the context of TypeScript or just in general, developer to developer, please do ask. Say hello. Let me know what you want to talk about. But I'm going to try to find someone to raid because I've been here an hour and a half. I'm getting tired and sore, and I have other things I have to do. So, thanks, y'all, for coming. Appreciate it. Oh, and let me, you know what I'm going to do? Cheers. Thank you. I'm going to actually post this as a work in progress because I do plan on finishing this. I definitely will come back to this. So I'm going to post this on my GitHub as a branch. Go to def literals. Work in progress, go to def for literals. And then I'm going to, oh boy, lots of data. Yeah, I'm going to post this in the chat and on Twitter because I'm really interested in seeing this happen. So GitHub.com, Joshua K. Goldberg, TypeScript branches. Also, I hate asking for, I hate being one of those internet people who's always saying like and subscribe, but like and subscribe. Also, I just wrote a book, Learning TypeScript with O'Reilly. You should buy it because it's great. Although if you're watching me debug the TypeScript language service, you might be a little more advanced than the book is targeted, but it's for people who want to learn TypeScript. Ben, great timing. I have your chat thing again. I remembered, but unfortunately, I'm about to stop because we had a break point. I've been here an hour and a half, and I'm tired, and I don't know where to go. So, if anyone has any raid suggestions, I see one channel I follow, ljtech.ca, is streaming, so I'm just gonna raid them, unless someone says another person to raid. This was a fun session though. I feel like we maybe even got pretty deep into how TypeScript does things. Like how do we get the definition of a node? How do we look at its type symbol information? Cool stuff. And I'll just start the raid now. 5 seconds to go. All right. Cheers.